Welcome to another episode of Drunk Cop and a Teacher, the podcast where everything's made up and our comments don't matter, just like anything we did this past week. Because, Ham, sorry, we just don't have time
Don't
to
worry, I
talk
will.
about the 40,000 movies you probably
Only
watched.
three.
But I'm sure you'll interject at some point in our conversations because, listeners, we have an action-packed episode, right? I mean, we got Red Notice, which is our main movie. That's an action comedy. And then we got to talk about the new No Way Home trailer just for the clicks and the
Well, you
views
don't
because
have to.
that's what every video YouTuber thing is doing now to increase the listener and viewership and whatnot.
I mean,
So
if
there's that.
everybody's doing it, we have to do it too. So
Yeah, that's what all content creators do, I
yeah,
think.
I
And
guess.
then
so
we got the Disney Plus anniversary stuff to go through. A crap ton of announcements that they had. And then, well, we'll start off with the one thing I wanted us to do last week, but Ham didn't get around to it, but he finally did, which is
Yeah, that's
talking spoilers about the Paranormal Activity movie because Mike really liked it. I really hated it. Ham, what card would you give Paranormal Activity?
just like the movie I saw last week with the big red dog. That got the same thing as this, a big red card.
wait, you really saw Clifford?
Red card, for sure.
Okay, so that's all right. Two movies down for him.
God. All right. So, like I said, listeners, we're going to start with Paranormal Activity and we're diving right into this because it's a lot and we don't want to, again, go on another 5-hour voyage across space. So, for your ears' sake, let's go ahead and start talking then about Paranormal Activity because I did want to talk spoilers because I don't understand why Mike liked it so much. I would have thought he would have hated this, or not maybe hated
So
it, but
bad.
just I don't know. Where do we want to begin? Can
The
I can I
end.
com-
The end.
well, but okay, so Ham, you saw the slow mo thing, right? You saw how much time
Yes.
they spent
Yes.
on him talking about
Yes.
the slow mo feature, and then
Yeah.
you don't see it happen again until
Yeah.
like towards the end where the monster's chasing them,
For a
and it's
second,
like,
I think.
yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, it's starting, and that's it, it's over. I'm like, oh, well, that was
Yeah.
pointless scene in the movie.
As soon as I saw the slow mo thing, I'm like, oh, this is probably what he was talking about. I'm like, maybe he was just talking about when they talked about it and nothing else. Then I noticed it right at the end, and I'm like, oh, yeah, bullshit.
What did
Uh,
you guys think about the scare scene? Like the scare jumps?
what scare jumps?
Exactly.
Like the creepy vibe. Like that little thing that when she was looking at the mirror and then, you see some weird ass thing approaching her in the back.
I think it was almost an hour in, and I'm like, oh, that was kind of interesting. Where the old woman's like scraping herself instead of the potato. That was the only time I'm like, oh, okay.
But like, okay, so a lot of that shit that happens though, if you
Mhm.
didn't pay attention at the end, like for like the 2 maybe seconds that they actually kind of showed what the shit was going on here, like
Yeah.
that scene is pointless. The kids acting strange is pointless.
Yeah.
The animal thing was pointless.
Yeah.
And like I had to really think about this and go, why did they put this irrelevant shit in this movie? And then when it came to the
Runtime.
end, when they did like the drawings or whatever, was it like on the floor or whatnot? Like each no, I think it was in the church. Like each
I
thing
think
was
so. Yeah.
depicting a scene that happened in the movie, and I was like, oh, okay. I wish they would have explained this beforehand, but I guess we were supposed to just kind of wait until this, so that way it's the big reveal where each thing is like a plague or an effect of whatever the shit's going on with the cult or whatever. Like I don't know, it was just a lot of wasted time in my opinion. And I know Mike liked it, but like I
Mhm.
did not like the different where they went from first person and then third person, like that going back and forth really bothered me, and I just didn't like it because it wasn't consistent with Paranormal Activity, or at
Not at
least from the
all.
first couple films. Because there's like and we talked about this, the found footage shit, where that is like leaving more mystery and more suspense, where if you're now taking me out of that first person footage film style and you're showing me all these characters and everything around it, then I'm not as like scared, or as I'm not as tense as I would be. And I don't know, for me it was just a little too much of it. I thought it was just going to be at the beginning, but it was all the way throughout.
I don't even call it characters. I call it people in the movie because there was no character development whatsoever. Oh, there's people filming, and this girl got left, and the end. That's all. I didn't care for anybody.
I
I
mean,
didn't care
technically,
for.
that's how all paranormal activities to me are. There's no character development. It's just more of just like, oh yeah, there's some weird demon thing that's. I think my favorite paranormal activity movie it has to be when they were kids. It was Kate and her sister.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was the movies go on and you get to know more about the story. This is just like,
But
yeah,
I
I'm a
didn't give a fuck
cameraman.
about adult Kate or even adult sister, whatever her name is. I don't know. I just didn't care until that movie came out where I was like, okay, this is a better character development of a story compared to one and two, where I don't know why I didn't like one and two. Like when I went to go to
Something's
see
wrong
it,
with you.
I didn't like it. Nothing was interesting about it. I was just like, okay, like it's just more of a 90-minute film, just you know, shit's moving, and then in the end was like this girl just turned into a demon and killed a boyfriend. Like I was just like, okay,
So I'll agree with you to the extent of yes, for the first two movies don't really have like very deep character development, but I would also argue that that wasn't maybe the point of
mm-hmm.
Paranormal Activity. That it was really just to kind of build this like suspense and this like fear of like what the shit, like what the
Yeah,
fuck is going on
yeah.
around you, and like there's like all these hauntings and possessions and shit, and it's like it's just supposed to be like kind of just like fear filled movie instead of like, oh, let's really delve into the characters. And I think it wasn't probably until the second one where they kind of really started hitting like, okay, maybe we should give these guys some development. And then we get the third one, which gives us the backstory to at least the girls, the sisters. And so that was kind of maybe an afterthought, because then after watching Paranormal Activity 3, I'm like, oh, I kind of like these, like kind of like the first two a little bit more now that I know the backstory behind it.
Hmm.
I guess so. The one that I hated the most was definitely the Los Angeles one, like the
With the guns.
with the guns and the fucking like I
Never
don't
saw it.
know, no, so
Oh,
fucking
you
bad.
don't know, man.
I like this one because I guess I already expected a stupid movie, and I was like, okay, let me see what this movie is going to give me. And I don't know, I just enjoy how stupid the characters were. I enjoy how the stupid the whole entire farm was, and
But
I was just like, oh, this is actually pretty
the
neat. I
the
enjoyed it. I was
girl
entertained.
the girl annoyed me so much because listen, like I get it, right? Curiosity, it drives you, it makes you want to like seek out the answers, but you're
Yeah,
in a fucking like unknown area with people you literally just met, and you think that you have the right to go into their shit and uncover all this stuff, and you don't think like a fucking deep well that reaches like what mile, like maybe a couple miles underneath, and you hear these weird noises, you don't stop to think maybe I should really stop doing this, and for the sake of my life just kind of go on with everything else and just leave. Like like she didn't seem like she had any sort of, I don't know, justification to do any of the things that she did in this movie. And the whole point was for her to find out about her biological parents, when that was kind of done and over with like the first 20 minutes of the movie, and it just
Hmm.
became all about, oh, I want to uncover this cult and figure out what all the secrets are. And that just really bothered me because it's just like I don't understand where it wanted to go with that character.
Hey Sal, if you want to watch a good version of this movie, watch Midsummer or whatever.
oh
For
fuck you,
for real,
Midsummer's
that was
worst.
so much better than this. So much better. But
Midsummer was stupid.
no, you need to watch it. I'm just saying to compare. But the
I
only
hate
parts
Midsummer.
that were good in this movie is when the EDM music started with the bell. It's like, dun, 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 and then just seeing all the little chaos and oh, where are the keys? Oh no, we lost. Oh, we gotta get it back. And then yeah, that's about it. The last what
I like the whole thing with the
5 minutes
mother.
maybe. What?
With the what?
With the mother, like the
When
lady
she's
coming out of the well,
yeah,
like
when
the
she's trying to talk to her, and it's like, oh, that was stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't.
I
It
liked it.
it was dumb. And then when she's in the attic or whatever, and she's under the bed, and she knows something is on the bed that pushed
Right?
down weight,
Yeah.
but she's
Yeah.
still like searching around and
Oh
thinking
my
she's
god.
sneaky, trying to open the window. Like, what? And that thing like screams at her, right? The part that you
Yeah.
liked, but she doesn't look around or do anything, and all of a sudden now she's like, I don't know, she's like free from that room. Like, it just, I was like, none of this makes
Pointless.
sense. It's pointless, but it also just doesn't logically like follow anything. Like, it goes against everything that I think horror movies have tried to reason out at this point. And it just was like, let's go back to like, the early 90s and do stupid horror movie shit just because people still like that kind of thing. But I just thought this did it really poorly.
I guess I'm one of the fools.
It's just, I don't understand. I don't.
I don't know. Maybe if I watch it again, probably I'll be in the same
Oh
page as
hell
you
no!
guys.
I'm not watching that shit
You
again.
know, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a marathon on Paranormal Activity with a group that
Oh man.
who has never seen all of them. I wouldn't mind it at all. I wouldn't watch the lost footage film of Shyamalan, The Visit. I feel like
Visit?
that fucking movie was worse than this, but
No, I
I've
thought
never
that was
seen it.
better than. Didn't we see it in high school? I swear we saw it in high school.
Did we?
But
I don't
I
remember it.
thought
this
so, but
coming. Oh, I
I thought
forgot
the village
him.
was better.
Oh,
Uh,
oh,
but that's also not saying much either.
it's
Yeah,
Shyamalan.
right. Yeah.
Shyamalan. I don't know. I can't give Shyamalan credit.
I can't recommend this
Um,
Paranormal Activity.
Oh hell
Like,
no.
this can be done. Like, just ignore it. Just put
What?
it deep down into the Shyamalan vault and
no, but
where
no, no,
how
no,
it
no.
belongs.
But the thing is that if somebody's watching a marathon of the Paranormal
No,
Activity,
no.
you still wouldn't.
There's no
No,
link. There's
it's
no
just
connection.
it's like the Purge I saw. The Purge and this movie, it's just name alone. It has nothing to do with anything almost.
Yeah, there's
It's
not a
just with
mention of
yeah,
Kate. There's not a
nothing.
mention of like, some sort of like family maybe that was like haunted. Like, there's no connection anywhere at all whatsoever.
I mean,
What
you could just say it's an activity that was paranormal, and if you want to say paranormal activity, but
what was the actual story of Paranormal Activity? It was just more of like Kate's family was like,
basically demon haunting basically the
de-
lineage of the family.
well, they were like devil warpers.
Worshippers.
Yeah, worshipers.
Yeah, like her family was, I think, involved, or at least like her ancestors
yeah,
were,
her ancestors.
right?
Uh,
Ancestors? Yeah, were involved in this sort of satanic cult, and it was always like kind of similar to Activity of Kin or whatever, or this new shit, where it's always like the daughter or something that is part of
yeah.
this sort of like prophecy or whatever, and so it just ended up affecting them. But I mean, one of the constant things was Toby, which was like the demon that was always like the
Yeah.
one haunting them, and we kind of got a little bit, more, I guess, and got to know a little bit more about that particular
Yeah,
possession. But
even the LA one I think was related to it somehow at the end. So there's that.
I don't know. I there is a well there. I think there's wait. I think there's one that I'm missing. I think it was the last one before this one. Wasn't it called like Dark something or
I don't remember,
I
man.
think that was the LA one, wasn't it? I'll look it up right now.
There's like the
no?
dimension hopping shit or time whatever shit. Is
Oh,
that this?
I didn't see that one.
That was in the LA one.
That was okay. So the LA one is the missing link here. Maybe
We
I
have
got to watch the LA one. You saw
oh
it. There's no linkage to this one to Next of Kin or whatever.
wait a minute. There was the marked ones and
I think it's the marked ones, the one that I didn't see. Is that the
actually
LA one?
now that I'm thinking, I don't remember.
There you go. We need a Paranormal Activity marathon, but just without this new shit.
Oh no, I think that was the LA one. Which one was the Ghost Dimension one?
I don't
Ghostbusters?
know. It's not worth it anymore.
I give
The
up.
newer
Yeah.
one. It's
Do
not
you
worth it anymore.
think
No, I don't.
Ghostbusters were called in this situation? You think they'll be able to defeat this thing, whatever is going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Red card. That's it. That's all I wanted to bitch and rant about. Not a very good movie at all whatsoever. You got 2 red cards, 1 confused green card, two no recommendations. One would, I guess, watch it again with you, but make sure there's drinks so that way you can at least somewhat enjoy it.
Oh
Whoa!
man, that should be a drinking game.
Paranormal Activity 2, Tokyo Night. What the fuck?
Wait, that's confirmed.
It already came out. I gotta watch that. All right, never mind.
Speaking of confirmed things, let's go ahead then and start transitioning to our Disney Plus anniversary announcements. That was on November 12th. I really thought they were going to hold a conference for this, but all they did was hold like these or put like on Disney Plus these sort of like 4 minute. What the Pixar thing was 4 minute. The Marvel thing was 14 minutes.
14 minutes, yeah.
I actually didn't watch the Star Wars because for whatever reason the Star Wars one didn't pop up on my thing. But like they were just like, here's the tour of Pixar Studios, or here's all of our Marvel things that we're gonna give you in the next year, and then that's pretty much it. So
Yeah.
it was very casual, I guess. But I guess let's talk about one thing and get it out of the way. The Simpsons crossover.
I saw it.
Did you guys watch it? So Ham watched it.
Yes.
I watched it. Mike, did you get to watch it?
No, I didn't even know there was a crossover.
We
We talked
talked
about it
about it.
before.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. No, I'm playing with you. Which one was it again? What was the crossover going to again?
The Simpsons was having like a celebration for the Disney Plus anniversary, and everyone was going to Moe's Tavern, and Homer wasn't on the guest list. And then Goofy comes up and is like, "Oh, I don't have a +1," and then Homer ends up being his +1.
Oh, I need
I
to
It
watch
was
it.
also I
it
also
was
made
like
a
4 minutes.
cameo in it. Yeah, I made a cameo in there. I was drinking.
um, out of all the Simpsons crossover shorts so far, this one wasn't that. I don't want to say good. It wasn't that funny. It was just like, okay,
Well, most of it was Lisa singing, so
that's true. But like, I don't know. I kind of would have expected more out of
it
it.
it was fine. I mean, it wasn't anything great or special, but it was
I mean, what do you
fine.
expect? Like, I bet a lot of kids were gonna watch this episode, and they didn't want to use the Simpsons whole humor, that dark humor that they do.
Well, I
Didn't
can
I bring that up, Ham? Didn't I ask you? I was like, how are they gonna pull this off? Because especially if they're crossing over, like, because we saw Elsa, we saw Mulan, we saw, well, I don't know if you can count Mickey Mouse, but there was
yeah.
Donald Duck. Like, there was obviously a shit ton
I
of
mean, we
Disney
did see a
characters.
little bit with Goofy being like sad or whatever, so there was that. There was a little darkness to that. But I mean, I think it was just most of the singing just made the whole episode more not as dark as a. I wouldn't even say dark as a Simpson episode. Maybe a little less raunchy, I guess.
Yeah,
But also they're very short. The end credits are almost as long as the actual episode, so
That is true.
they're not that long. So it's not even memorable at times.
I can't even remember what was the last time I saw a Simpsons episode.
Yeah, me neither.
Last week.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and start going through some of these announcements. We'll start with the Marvel stuff first. I am
Yeah.
using the article from digitaltrends.com. It has kind of everything. I'm going to assume everything listed. But the Marvel bit started off with kind of recapping its three series that had already premiered. So WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki, which that was like what 2 minutes a piece, so that took up like already almost half of the thing. But what was kind of nice was that we got a bit of a clip of Hawkeye, where he's interacting with Kate Bishop, and there's just sort of like car chase sequence that we got out of it. Any thoughts on that so far?
I didn't like that they showed a lot of like that clip. I mean, the clip looked awesome, but I didn't like that they showed that because I feel like that was like a huge spoiler for an episode.
I mean, it's coming out soon, so I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, you can rewatch and be like, oh yeah, I saw this already. It doesn't matter. I mean, people already know
Hmm.
that it's supposed to be based off that certain comic, so no one's gonna be surprised. I think. Well,
Yeah, but it's not
fans, I
straight from
guess.
the comic. I mean, that there
Or
is
no, yeah.
there is a car chase sequence, and they use trick arrows. Actually, that's now that you bring that up, it's actually kind of a cool adaptation of that scene from from that image from the comic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I liked it. I didn't mind it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was anything really spoilery about it though. Like,
I would have
But there's
liked
already
for
been
it
the trailers
to.
out already.
No, I'm saying I would have liked for maybe like a second trailer, maybe not, just a full clip. No, I mean, not a full clip, but
I
like
get you.
close to it. You know what I mean? Like I would have liked to experience that scene for the first time, but not on a trailer or
I
whatever
think
they
it's
showed.
fair to say that we didn't get to see probably the full version of that trailer. I mean, well, she did use a lot of trick arrows. Anyway, I thought it was cool. It makes me more excited though for Hawkeye. I'm really looking forward to this series.
I am
Um,
as well.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hoping. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be my number one so far for Marvel series because I did put Falcon and Winter Soldier on a high pedestal. So, we'll see what happens from there. I'm trying to think if anything happened in that trailer that we needed to bring up.
Was there a dog involved
I
in
didn't see a
Hawkeye
dog.
comics? Yeah.
Yes, well, yeah, in the Matt Fraction run for sure.
I think it's confirmed though.
Pizza Dog, yeah, Pizza Dog's in there. Pizza Dog's
Yeah.
in there.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it was a golden Labrador, right?
Yeah.
Because she did say dog in
Yeah.
the trailer, so I'm
Mhm.
guessing that's the dog. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Nothing else. Like they just showed the clip. I'm excited. I can't wait. I hope it's a really, really good show. I'm hoping for it to be, in my opinion, for it to be the top show.
It is 6 episodes. They are doing the first 2 episodes on November 24th, so that kind of shortens the window. Probably try to get it done before 2022. And if anything, it'll probably be the same length of time as like Falcon and Winter Soldier, where
Well,
it ranges from like 45 to an hour,
well,
45
also
minutes to an hour.
it takes place during Christmas, so they wanted
Yeah.
in that range.
Yeah.
Yep. The next thing they showed was some glimpses of Moon Knight, and
Hmm.
I am extremely excited for this one too because this one looks legit good and dark and this dives into the sort of what is it, the bipolar crazy mind of Spectre here, and I don't know, I'm really happy to see what they showed, and it gets me more excited for it.
Yeah, it looked really good. I am really excited for it too. One of my buddies, he's a diehard Moon Knight fan. I haven't talked to him yet about it, but I already know that he's super excited, and this looks. I'm hoping for it to be like crazy, like I don't know, violent wise, maybe Punisher level. I don't think they'll do a Punisher level, or
Kind of
maybe
go like on the
Daredevil.
darker end of Marvel.
Yeah, like Daredevil, sort of.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, that's the only time you can see the moon, right? Is at night.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know much about Moon Knight. I know I've seen little screen grabs of comics of like it's supposed to be like sort of like Deadpool.
Um, he
He
doesn't
is
really break the
compared.
fourth wall though.
Does not? Okay.
No,
For
no,
some
no.
reason I
He's
thought
more compared to. I mean, a lot of people who don't know anything about Moon Knight, they're going to compare him to Batman.
Batman.
I don't
It's
know
Uh
about that.
Trust
oh.
me, I have witnessed it plenty of times, even in the
So,
comic books,
Batman.
where
so
uneducated people who don't know anything about Moon Knight, they're like, "Oh yeah,
I think
Marvel
Deadpool is an
has."
okay comparison, but just breaking the fourth wall
Gotcha.
bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
They
but
also showed off She-Hulk,
Yes.
which is
yeah,
interesting. There
That's my
wasn't
so
girl
her
anything
back.
Tatiana.
there wasn't anything I disliked. I kind of was a little confused though as to because they ended that bit with what looked to be like an old school style sitcom view of the show, and I was
It's
like,
based off the actual the Hulk TV series back in the day.
"What, the entire show or just that bit?"
The bit where she's like, "You wouldn't like me when I'm angry" or
Yeah,
whatever.
okay, so that's what I was, they were kind of going for that angle there.
Yeah, it's a spoof of the
Okay.
original TV
Yeah.
series. Yeah.
It looks interesting. I'm curious how the storyline works out, especially since we kind of see Smart Hulk in
Yeah.
this sort of trailer. Um, but
Do
should be
you
good.
see anything with his arm?
Yeah. I mean, but we don't know really when this takes place, right? This could have
Yeah,
been.
exactly. I've
This
heard
could
that before. Yeah.
this could take place before
That's what I'm hearing.
Infinity War and Endgame before Endgame.
Yeah.
How does She-Hulk get her powers again?
I mean,
In the comics, I think it was through a blood transfusion,
yes, that's what I've heard.
but this
Oh.
one I'm not sure. It seems like they were just running tests or whatever, and she probably got exposed to gamma. I don't know, but I'm sure that the series will delve into that origin story.
Yeah.
I believe that this is after Endgame.
I mean, does it matter?
Uh,
It kind of does because if she was here before Endgame, it's just like why wouldn't you be part of it, or
well, if
was
okay,
she
so
part of
it,
the Vanish?
She
in
could have
your
got yeah.
defense, it would probably be like flashbacks or like maybe the first couple episodes would be pre Endgame stuff, and then we'll
Yeah.
fast forward to like post Endgame stuff. Yeah.
I mean,
All
it's
right.
not gonna affect the whatever Marvel timeline anyway, so it's
I
not
would
gonna.
like for her to be part of the female group that walked down, in the middle of the battle.
Speaking of females, Miss Marvel was the next bit that they showed. Kamala Khan, the 16-year-old Pakistani American, and that is kind of an important thing to point out, just because that is the whole sort of like a praise to this character, especially from the comics, to have a Pakistani American sort of hero, just like how Miles Morales was kind of the first African American Latino sort of superhero,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think this will definitely appeal to younger kids for sure. And I think maybe that's obviously their goal, just like the comics was oriented for that. The series seems to be oriented for that as well. And so it should be, I don't know, I think it'll be fine. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, didn't give me anything to go base off of
Yeah.
anything. Just I'm waiting for a trailer.
Yeah. I mean, I just know what she sort of stretches.
In the
Right.
comics, yes. I don't know. There's a lot of theories behind that
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
changing her powers for this series, but I don't know for sure if
I've
that's
heard
Because we
that
true.
did
too.
see her walk
Yeah.
in air, so I don't know what was that about.
So after that bit, then they started going through just a slew of titles, things that are going to come their way through the Marvel universe. They showed off just like the logos or at least the title screens of these upcoming series. One of them being Echo, who is well, in the comics, I believe she's the daughter of Kingpin. And apparently, we're going to meet this character, Maya Lopez, who plays Echo, who becomes Echo in the Hawkeye series. So we'll probably see
Okay.
that connection there. We see the title for Ironheart, who
Mm-hmm.
is in the comics is sort of Iron Man's predecessor. Is no, not predecessor. What's the following?
Protege?
Protege, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
because in the comics, Ironheart, Riri Williams kind of receives a message from Tony Stark's AI, who's like it's after Tony Stark dies, and like
Yeah.
apparently he like uploads his consciousness as an AI, and it gets sent to Riri Williams, and then it's like a whole mentor thing with Tony Stark, and she becomes the new Iron Man. So we'll see where that goes. Agatha, House of Harkness, which we kind of already knew about that. They
Yeah,
announced that shortly after WandaVision was over. We see good old Samuel L. Jackson, who looks a little bit more aged, I think, right? He seemed different
Yeah. Yeah.
in that second clip.
yeah. He doesn't have his eye patch. I think that's what throws it off.
Oh,
Maybe.
is that it? I didn't
Yeah,
really that never crossed my mind. But he was shown just for a split second to kind of promote the Secret Invasion series that's coming, and then they showed off I Am Groot, also the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. What If Season 2 is coming our way. Marvel Zombies, which we also knew that was one of the earlier announcements for Marvel series. This was an interesting one. X-Men 97.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you about that, but
yeah.
I figured you already knew.
So they're continuing stories from the 1990s X-Men series, which is mind-blowing to me.
Do 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 do. Dun, dun.
Do we want to assume that they're going to try to incorporate this into the Marvel universe?
I don't see how.
I don't know.
I
Because
I
I,
don't. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I
I
don't. I don't.
is.
I don't think it's gonna be canon. I don't think so.
But
Not
like
as.
everything that they have announced so far is canon to MCU. This is like the most out of the ordinary thing out
Uh,
of all these announcements.
what other
You,
Marvel people were in X Men in that show? If you remember anything,
I don't Spider-Man.
just
That's the
Spider Man.
just that's the only thing
Mm.
that comes to mind because there was that crossover where I think
I
it was
think.
more it was a Spider-Man episode where he went to go see the X-Men because he was
Mm,
going through that mutation shit.
yeah,
But I don't think that there were any other prominent Marvel characters that showed up in the X-Men series.
that's what I'm saying. So I think it's
or
gonna be contained.
or maybe they're just continuing on with the story that they wanted it to like for it to continue, and now they are. And while the MCU, they do their own X-Men stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna do another Dark Phoenix.
And the last Marvel MCU thing that they announced was Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is apparently an animated series that's going to follow Peter Parker on his way to becoming Spider-Man.
What? Which freshman?
Which freshman? Freshman year of high school, I would assume.
So it's Tom
Okay.
Holland, but in freshman year when he's normal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess we didn't really get to see that. So okay.
No. So
Okay.
this is their opportunity to kind of give us that origin story. So for me personally, this is kind of like the make or break point for me and this Spider-Man character because they could I can see them doing justification for me how I want Spider-Man to be through this animated series. The
But
question is
isn't that sad?
what?
Is that they have to do an animated freshman year story for Tom Holland's character, but instead of it making it into the movies itself. Exactly.
Uh, I think
I
I
don't
was.
know. I think they what they kind of they're forced to, right? Because the deal was kind of made at the last second between Sony and Marvel to put Spider-Man in Civil War to begin with. So if they're going to advance his storyline and start him at a point where he's already been Spider-Man, like I'm not gonna fault him for that. As long as they gave us Spider-Man in the MCU, I think that's just kind of like, at least we got him in the door. Now let's just make sure he has a house to sit in and to sleep in and whatnot. And essentially, this animated series is his house. Now the
Yeah.
question though becomes: are we going to see an Uncle Ben? Like, are we going to get that Uncle Ben
I'd
death
Oh,
assume
scene?
so.
I assume, yeah, for sure, for sure.
I'm curious if they'll just gloss over it though. Like,
Have they
Mm,
ever mentioned Uncle Ben in Homecoming and
there's
Far
been
From Home?
references, but he's
yeah,
never been
the suitcase.
directly
I think.
verbally mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's there because in Homecoming he mentions that how his Aunt May has been through a lot with recent things that have happened, and then in the second movie in Far From Home, the briefcase has his initials on it.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yep. So I don't know. I mean I am looking forward to it because I do want to see if they can justify this Spider-Man in the MCU for me. All right, moving on to the this one has listed the Disney series stuff. So not the Pixar stuff yet. Pinocchio, which is going to have Tom Hanks, Luke Evans, and has the voices of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Keegan-Michael
Ooh.
Key.
Ooh.
This one's going to premiere in fall 2022. So animated or live action? I don't know.
I think
I
it
think it's
might
live action.
be. Is it live action?
Because it says here Tom Hanks, Cynthia Erivo, and Luke Evans star in a retelling from Robert Zemeckis featuring the voices of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Keegan Michael Key. So I think it is. I think Tom Hanks is Geppetto then, right?
That makes
Oh
sense.
man, if he's Geppetto, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Baymax, the star of Big Hero 6, is getting his own animated series. I think that was only a matter of time though. They just finally have the platform to do it. Zootopia is getting a what they call a new short form series, which I think those are just going to be 15-minute episodes probably.
But the thing is that I keep on seeing Zootopia Plus. Is that just including? That's not another like separate thing from Disney Plus, is it?
No. What? No. Zootopia Plus. The plus is probably just to signify that it's on Disney Plus.
Okay,
Probably.
I got a
Yeah.
little nervous. I was like, who the fuck is gonna pay for
Yes,
this?
we're getting the Zootopia Plus app where it's only going to show the world of Zootopia.
Okay, never saw the movie, but okay,
What?
I never got around to it.
Oh my god! Well, it's an animated movie, so I guess I understand
Yeah,
from
right.
that. Tiana is another series coming in 2023. This one is from The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, I
We
did see that.
also
Yeah.
we also have a remake of an old comedy called Cheaper by the Dozen, starring Gabrielle Union and Zach Braff, which I don't know who Zach Braff is.
You
He's
know
from
Zach
Grey's
Braff.
Anatomy.
Do I? Who's Zach Braff?
No. You know
No, he's
Zach
not.
Braff.
Wait, who's Zach Braff again?
Zach Braff. Oh my god.
You
Did you
keep
never?
saying his name, but you're not telling us where we know him from.
Fucking Scrubs.
I don't watch Scrubs.
You've
Oh,
never
okay,
seen
yes,
Scrubs?
yes. Oh,
No.
he was in that spin-off movie of Mask with the kid.
No, that was Kennedy. That was Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, I know that one.
Oh, never mind. It looked like his twin.
Well,
Like his big
anyway,
Garden
don't-
State.
I don't think this movie needed a remake. I like the older one. That was with
Never saw it.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna hate myself for not remembering his name off the top of my head. The guy with Martin Short, Martin Short, Chevy Chase, and Steve Martin. Steve Martin. Oh my god, thank God.
Yeah, Steve Bowman. Yeah, you're
Woo.
fucking up.
Steve
And
Martin and
Holly
Tom
Hunt or
Welling.
something. Yeah, Tom Welling.
And
Yeah.
Haley Duff was in there.
Oh yeah, she
Remember?
was.
So I like that. I like those movies because there was two of them. I liked them. They were fine.
They were fun. Yeah.
I don't like this remake already.
Yeah,
Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. Simon Pegg stars as Buck in the movie, which premieres January
Eye
28th,
Patch Guy?
2022. Yep, Eye Patch Guy.
Can I
Alright.
mention something?
Go ahead.
No.
Watching watching this trailer, I don't know why, but the animation, I don't know if it was because of my TV, but the animation looked weird. It looked low budget compared to the other like Ice Age animation movies.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I noticed that. I showed my wife and she's like, it kind of does look a little bit more dimmer and look cheaper
By the dozen.
by the dozen. Yep.
Okay.
Disney Intertwine, the first Disney Plus series produced in Latin America. It follows Allegra, who is ready to change the past in order to reach her dream. It's available now. Again, if anyone wants to see it. Sneakerella. I just want to move on. Disenchanted, which is a follow-up to the Enchanted movie, which now is available on Disney Plus for anyone who hasn't seen it.
I
But
haven't seen it.
Disenchanted will stream in fall 2022. I don't know if you'll like it. Like back then, it's really good, and I rewatched it again just recently with my daughter, because I wanted her to watch it. I figured she'd like the kind of the songs that he's singing there. She enjoyed it, and I still enjoy the movie. But I just kind of remember how I enjoyed it back then. I thought it was funny. Ham, did you watch the movie?
I did see it. It was fun. I think I rewatched it. I'm like, I don't remember parts of this. One time I think it was on TV. So, it was fine.
Yeah, I liked it. Hopefully Mike likes it, but we'll see.
Oh, was it?
Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. It's debuts February 2022. High School Musical, the series. Jesus Christ, season
High
3.
School. Oh my god, I'm say that a lot of times.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid animated series.
Diarrhea.
Roger Rules. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. This is a live action animated feature. It's gonna star John Mulaney and Andy Samberg as
Nice.
probably Chip and Dale.
Nice.
As the voices most obviously, but I know Alvin and the Chipmunks get a lot of crap. I enjoyed them for when they came out and for what they were supposed to be. I feel like Chip and Dale is going to probably be on that same level where, it's just going to be kind of like, goofy family level, like comedy, and then just
I
enjoy
hope
it
it's
for what it is.
better. I mean, Rescue Rangers was better, like because they did shit. So
Yeah.
I
better
like
have the theme song.
first. I like the first
Yeah.
one. I like the first one. The first one that came out, the live action one.
Oh, of Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Alvin and Chipmunks.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I don't remember the second one.
Yeah, I don't. The second one introduced the girls, and then the third one they went on a cruise, but then got
Shipwrecked. Shipwreck.
And yeah, Chipwreck. My daughter was
Oh
just
my
actually
God.
recently watching it, but
Oh, sorry for her.
the Spiderwick Chronicles, which didn't we get a movie off of this book series? Isn't it?
I want to
Which-
say yes. One movie.
I want to say I don't know.
Yeah. The Beatles Get Back premieres over 3 nights starting November 20th or 25th.
Big
Sorry.
bad Beetleborgs.
Better
I don't. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna watch it.
better Nate than never.
What?
Skipping that one. The World According to
Yes.
Jeff Goldblum is back for season 2.
Whoa.
Didn't even see season 1.
Oh, I saw a
Nope, me
couple
neither.
episodes. It's
I
funny.
did not.
Hocus Pocus 2 is coming fall 2022.
Yeah,
So
I
much
saw a
hype.
picture of it.
A
Yes.
lot of hype around this movie. Hopefully, it can deliver for the fans' sake.
I don't even think the first one really did that well. I didn't. It
Oh
was,
no, there's a
Speaking of things that didn't do
huge
well,
following.
Home Sweet Home Alone.
oh, speaking of Sweet Home Alone,
Don't
I
tell me you
saw
watched
that
it.
one as well.
Why? Why
I
did you do that
did.
to yourself?
I think I give it a yellow. I thought it wasn't bad. The bad guys were an actual family, so it had almost tried to do a deeper level. I recommend it.
Okay, the last section of these Disney Plus anniversary announcements,
One more movie.
Star Wars and Lucasfilm.
Yes.
So we already know about the first couple of titles here, Willow and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
My boy Willow.
Sure. And then
Did
they
you say
have
short?
yes. And then there I guess there's like an origin story kind of documentary about Boba Fett called Under the Helmet: The Legacy of Boba Fett, which is available now. I think it's about the creation and like the why people think he's so cool or whatever. And that
Oh,
would make sense considering that the Book of Boba Fett is coming, which I believe they announced it for December 24th, right?
yeah, it's taking the spot of
No, it wasn't in November 29th.
I'm
no
pretty sure it was
because
December.
no because of Hawkeye. They're not doing both of them next to each other or
Yeah.
simultaneously.
I'll search it up right
So
now.
as soon as Hawkeye ends, then Book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett. Oh, December 29th. Yeah, December
Yeah,
29th is the
exactly.
first episode.
That's how they roll.
Yep.
Mm.
And that's it as far as that goes. Pixar Cars on the Road is a Cars series, animated series following Mater and Lightning McQueen on a road trip. There's Win or Lose, a middle school co-ed softball team prepares for the championship game. This series is not coming out until 2023 though. And that's pretty much it. We'll end it there. They have some other stuff for National Geographic and whatnot.
Obi-Wan?
I already said Obi-Wan. I said that
Oh,
after
okay.
Willow.
Whoopsie, I got excited for Willow.
And that's
what
it.
is Willow? Don't,
so-
don't answer that.
Oh,
So-
watch it. Just watch it.
The question then becomes, Ham, is this enough content for you?
Finally. I mean, are these coming this year, right? All of them this year?
Most of them.
Most of them. Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, they are now chugging along. It's still sort of the one, maybe not next year, but it's that one season, and then they'll do another season. But we'll see how they do their sort of scheduling next year. It was a
Mike,
yes.
what do you think about all this content coming to Disney Plus?
Oh, I'm excited for it. I mean, I've never been against Disney Plus. I've always have mentioned Disney Plus. In my opinion, it's one of the most greatest streaming service platforms that has ever came out. A service that has all the Star Wars movies, all the Marvel movies, all the classic Disney movies that once in a while everybody in the world is going to watch Little Mermaid or the Pixar movies, and even more things are coming out for it too. It just shows that they're actually want to grow and they will grow.
In the back catalog, I've only watched two things. Flight of the Navigator for everybody. That's
Ooh,
too
that's
young
a good
for
one.
Mike. Yeah, too young. And Willow. So yeah,
I got to write this down. What was it again?
Flight
Willow.
of the Navigator
Yeah.
and Willow. Yeah, I think this is awesome. I'm curious if they're gonna be able to keep up with this though, right? Because this is a lot, right? We're in early stages of a lot of these series. Are we gonna see the same amount of announcements when we hit year 3? when that anniversary comes around? Are they going to have more surprising titles for us? Because it kind of seems like they're really just kind of going all out right away. But then we're going to hit to that slow point where I'm sure people are going to start complaining, like Ham be like, oh, there's no more content. There's no content.
Well,
Like,
no, it's gonna be like Netflix, where it's like, oh, these series are bad. I don't know why they keep doing the same series and no one's watching it. Like Iron Fist, or maybe even whatever
Well,
else came
I
out.
have actually a question for maybe for some, maybe for you too. I don't know. There is a Marvel show that is coming out that it's a little bit more graphic and it's only coming out in Hulu. Do you
That
remember the
makes
name of it?
sense.
Hitmonkey?
Yes, Hit Monkey. That's what it is. Yes. Do you think I was thinking about this because Daredevil apparently is supposed to be coming back soon with this guy
Charlie
what,
Cox.
Charlie Cox, and also too Punisher apparently with the same guy. Was it John? Was it John?
John
Oh,
Berthel.
John
Berthel? Something like that. Yeah,
Berthel?
yeah.
John Berthel. You know,
Guy from Walking Dead,
the
the
guy from The
first
Walking
season
Dead.
or
Yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, they were supposed to coming. They're supposed to be coming back, and I've always wondered.
It won't be on Hulu.
You don't think it'll be on Hulu?
That's no, because if they're gonna bring him back right into the MCU, they're gonna want to keep it consistent to the MCU. Everything that's Marvel that's on Hulu is not MCU canon, as far as I know. And so, if we
Yeah.
let's say, for example, they do have Charlie Cox make a cameo in No Way Home, that everyone's like rumoring right now that he's gonna be in
Yeah.
there. There, that would separate their viewership because Hulu is not automatic with Disney Plus. That's like an additional thing you would buy for
Oh,
Disney
some more
Plus.
money for them. Okay.
Yeah, but no,
I know, I
doubt
get it.
they're not gonna go that route. They're gonna
But
want to keep everything on that one platform, on the Disney Plus platform, so it will stay on Disney Plus and it'll just get
But you don't think it'll
rated
be too
down.
violent?
that's what you think. It's gonna get less bloody and less
Yeah,
violent.
it's gonna get less violent.
Oh man, if they do Punisher, they can make it less violent.
But well, I mean, let's not speak too soon on this because we do have Blade coming out, and Blade is a more violent and aggressive
On
character.
Disney Plus.
But
No,
it's
movie
an
theaters.
MCU canon movie, so they're going to probably put it on Disney Plus, and if it's gonna, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be PG-13. No, they didn't they say it was rated R?
They
I
said
don't
it's supposed to
remember.
be the first rated R Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but if it comes out in theaters and it's on Disney Plus, will you have to pay extra for it or not? That also
Let's not
depends,
go
I
down
think.
that rabbit hole.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
just saying.
Hulu is the
Okay.
back card.
So before we go into the next big rabbit hole, we'll do an intermission break here. So Mike, go ahead and do that thing that I don't know, don't really care for anymore, but you still do it anyway.
Okay, think fast. Ka-chow. Intermission.
All right, into the next rabbit hole we go because we finally got the second long awaited, highly anticipated by many other people on TikTok, the second Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, which many people were rumoring or speculating that, oh, it's going to show us Andrew and Toby. We're going to see all three Spider-Man. We're going to see all this and that. We just saw a shit ton more villains. I want to say, though,
Yes.
it's very strange that, no pun intended, it was very strange that there was a huge party for this trailer. Like, it was very absurd that they invited so many people out in this theater, rented out this theater, set up this had a couple chairs, had some posters all around, had all these influencers just to show a 3-minute trailer.
I mean, there's the hype, man.
I mean, my question was,
The influencers probably not. I mean, I think it's only because even Angelina Jolie was there. So obviously this is only really for
Whoa.
social media people
Whoa,
and
Was she
other
there with her
celebrities.
kids? Was she there with her kids?
I don't know. I just saw that she was
Okay,
there, like part of the crowd or
Spidey
whatever.
Gwen?
Maybe, I don't know. But it was only the only actor really that kind of showed up
Yeah.
for the movie was Tom Holland, and then there was another, I think, social media influencer that was kind of hosting the thing, or at least being like the main talking person of the thing. I don't know. It just seemed very bizarre because my Twitter feed was just going rampant with all of these people showing pictures of the theater and what was going on and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, maybe they are gonna finally show us Andrew and Toby, like Toby Maguire, in this trailer. But unfortunately, I guess not. It's not there. All right, so listeners, if you have not seen the second trailer yet, just stop where you are, pause, go watch the trailer, and then come back and you can listen to us kind of talk about our thoughts on what this trailer means or could mean or maybe not mean at all. Because we're not going to go through the whole trailer, but we'll probably kind of take it in bits and pieces. What do you guys want to bring up first, or do you guys just want to take turns talking about your thoughts on the trailer?
Well, you
We
told me
could
to go
we could
watch the trailer right now, so I'm gonna go watch the trailer.
we could take turns on giving us our thoughts and
All right,
everything.
so while Ham watches the trailer, Mike, what do you think?
Um, I think the trailer was okay. It was all right. I don't think it's much of a surprise if everything was already leaked out and rumored and all this stuff, and people are acting all like, "Oh my god, spoilers!" Is it really spoilers if you already were predicting it already and it was already confirmed that these villains were already going to be in the movie? Um, so for me, it was okay. Uh, it was I was just more thinking of just like, okay, so they're forcing a Sinister Six, but without building the Sinister Six up into the universe of the MCU.
Yeah,
They're
whatever
just
happened to that movie?
It's in one of the
exactly.
multiverses.
Yeah, so the thing is that they build up the Sinister Six by failing one movie and adding it to another movie, and you know what I mean, like different types of storyline. And I don't know why I always just felt like I just felt like it just like it's a missed opportunity to really build that chemistry up. But hey, fuck it, money, Sony multiverse is happening, this and that, because the Miles Morales movie did great, so why not make it a live action one?
I agree. Like Sony, always about money and never about quality. Um,
So yeah, like I am. Over other than that, it's okay. It was all right. I'm excited to see it, of course, but and of course everyone's predicting like towards the end of the trailer when Doctor Strange was like, "Oh my God, they're all coming through. I can't control them." I'm guessing that's when people are saying that that's when Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield are going to show up and all this stuff. So I don't know.
Did you watch the Brazil trailer?
whoa, what? What's up with that?
No,
Um, okay. I mean, I don't know if Ham was gonna mention that last part of the trailer bit, but so you know the last end where it's like that climactic epic sequence where Spider-Man is jumping towards the villains and you have Electro,
Yeah.
Sandman, and Lizard jumping towards him.
Oh, you
So
mean the actual? Okay, yeah. Go ahead. I
so
think I
you
know what
know
you're gonna
how the
say.
lizard is
Yeah.
kind of jumping towards like the bottom half, which
I
kind of already implies that there's something there that the lizard is going after. So
yeah.
in the Brazil trailer, there's like another split second of that added on, but the lizard is reacting to something like he gets punched
Yeah,
basically.
no, I saw that. I didn't know it was the Brazil trailer. I heard people talking about it. Yeah, you see the lizard coming like sort of straight, but then something hits it, and it like ricochets back as it was being attacked by something, and it was edited out.
Yeah. And this isn't like I'm kind of getting tired of this now. I think maybe this is what kind of peaked me over because it did well. At least what I guess maybe when we first noticed it was Endgame or Infinity War, where we saw Hulk running across with Captain America and the rest of them to the
Yeah,
battlefield. But in the movie, that never actually happened. And I think it was more it was Ruffalo in the Hulkbuster suit or whatever. And so now we're getting more of these MCU trailers that purposely edit out things or change things so that way we don't, I guess, try to figure out the story, which to be fair, but then I feel like you should just edit your trailers better to avoid that.
there was, and then two other things I remember out top of my head was Melogenor. Wow, here we go. Melogenor. Nope, can't say it today. Melogenor. Yep, same. Instead of it was the wooden like axe, whatever that's called, windbreaker or whatever. Remember, it was supposed to be in the trailers. It was that, but then it was whatever in the actual movie. Then also, I think Captain Marvel had like her regular hair, but then the movie was the short, spiky, the mohawk, I think.
Yeah.
So they've done it a bunch. It's not really new, but I guess that's MCU versus Sony. I don't know.
Well, today, one thing, and then I guess like Sal will take it over. One of at work, some of my employees were talking about the trailer, and they were talking about Tom Holland and stuff like that, and they were all saying that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man ever. It struck a nerve with me.
No, he is the best one because he's Tom Ballin. I said it. I said it.
Oh Jesus Christ! And I kind of snap. I didn't snap at them, but I said, "I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, guys, but you guys are wrong. He is not the best Spider-Man at
How old
all.
are they?
I mean, one is 40, the other one is 27, and
Ouch.
one of them was just like, "Oh, don't you say Tobey Maguire?" I said, "Yes, Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man," and I want to take it up a notch. I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Yes, the script was shit, but I think him as an actor and him as Spider-Man was amazing.
Okay,
Pun
we don't
intended.
got time for this,
No
man.
pun.
I don't.
No, I know,
I'm looking
I
at
know.
you,
But like,
Sal.
I know. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that Tom Holland is the worst Spider-Man. I mean, in my list, he is, but it's just what Marvel is doing with him. Just saying.
Ham, what are your thoughts on the trailer?
I actually did have to watch it because what I actually saw earlier was a breakdown of the trailer, but the breakdown of all the rumors and everything and all the references. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, the first one left it more of a mystery, a little bit more. This one just adds a little bit more, but nothing shocking or amazing or spectacular. Get what I'm doing there? Uh that maybe people were wishing or wanting or hoping for. So it was a fun second trailer, and I want to see that third trailer and maybe shit my pants. I don't know.
You think we'll get a final trailer?
Usually it's three, right?
Usually it is, but I mean, if they're gonna give us another trailer, I feel like they're gonna be they have to be obligated to give us like some like
I think
actual.
so. I think so.
All
But
right.
if not, then I don't see there being another trailer if they don't add anything of significance.
Fair enough. Okay. So then we get to me and my opinion on this trailer.
Oh man, don't make me
Yes.
drink a whole bottle right now, man. Go ahead.
Um, this did get me more excited for the movie. I think this is just gonna be a visual fuck fest, and I mean that in a positive way though, where it seems like it's really just gonna hit on all the visual tones that people want to see, like Electro and Sandman, and with all these visual effects and everything, with Goblin going around. I think it's gonna nail that, and I think this will be a sequence to remember. Um, I don't think this card is, or I don't think this movie's gonna get a green card out of me. I can already tell that. Because it's still following some of the same beats from the other two movies, and I'll get to that in a second. Um, I don't understand why we don't see Willem Dafoe's face in this trailer yet. I mean, we know that's Willem Dafoe, so I don't know if they're trying to hide something else. Maybe if his face is disfigured. But
Anybody notice that there was another Green Goblin without the helmet?
I
I
saw
think
somebody talk about that.
I think that's still Willem Dafoe. Is just unmasked. Like he just gets a new suit.
No, no, no. It was like there was another glider right
Yeah,
behind
but
him.
he get
There's
okay.
a
So here's let me just get into my speculation at this point.
Mhm.
So that last sequence, obviously, there's going to be other figures in that sequence. I'm gonna I'm gonna repeat myself, but from before, I do think it would be very cool to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this movie. I think that would be very awesome to see as a full action like Spider-Verse kind of sequence. I'm still not going to get my hopes up or expectations up and think that it's going to happen. I honestly don't think it's going to happen.
From
I
a from a secret source, I heard it was William Dafoe and William the friend.
Shatner, William Shatner.
No, William the
Goblin the
friend or
Friend.
whatever.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Well, because my first theory is wrong. Because I said in the last time when we talked about the trailer that these villains see Tom Holland like as like it's their Spider-Man, but it's still Tom Holland's face. But we get that sequence in the trailer where Doc Ock says,
Yep.
"You're not Peter Parker." So I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, there goes that theory."
Yeah.
My next theory is that because Spider-Man has to save these villains, because remember, Doctor Strange is like they're gonna die. They die at the hands of Spider-Man. That's what that happens in their universes. And Spider-Man's like, oh shit, no, I can't let that happen because good guy morale. He's got to save the villains. I think what's going to end up happening in some sort of weird, twisted, complex way is that Willem Dafoe, so Green Goblin and Doc Ock are actually going to team up with Spidey. And in the process of that happening, they have to develop sort of new gear, which is why you see Spider-Man in his new suit, the kind of the new Iron Spider suit. And then you see, I don't know, I'm not sure about this one, but Doc Ock has like Stark technology, I'm going to assume, because that's
That's what
Iron
I've
Man
heard.
colors. That's
Yeah,
Iron Man
that's what
colors
I've
on that
heard.
thing. So what's weird though is because when you first see Doc Ock in a trailer, he doesn't have those colors on his arms. But then when he catches Spider-Man, he does have those colors. So I don't know if that's some sort of weird edit thing that they were trying to mislead us with. But I would assume that he kind of gets those along the process of helping Peter Parker. And then Goblin would just get a new outfit because maybe his gets damaged in the battle, and so he has to repair his glider and get a new suit or whatever. And I think those two will pair up with Spider-Man to go against Electro, Sandman, and the Lizard. Yes.
Yep, I just dropped Gwyneth.
Yeah, I
Gwen
think that's
Stacy.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think that it's going to be those three against the other three, and that will be the big action sequence that we get at the end. And I think Ned Leeds going to die. I think that the whole Mary Jane thing is misleading. Mary Jane will get saved, but because they have that tagline of making choices, I feel like Tom Holland or Peter Parker is going to have to make this choice between his best friend and MJ.
What I've heard is no, for real, that Aunt. Wow, I'm blanking.
Aunt May.
Aunt May is gonna die. That's what
I think so too, because she was in there for like a split second, and there's a
Running.
lot of shit. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going down. So I wouldn't be surprised if she dies. It would be kind of weird that
Another.
she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be kind of weird. She does. Be happy.
Okay, I'll take that one.
Another thing that I was hearing about, people were saying and predicting, is that when Zendaya's falling down, you see Tom Holland grab her hand. They're saying that more likely Tobey Maguire is going to save her.
No,
No,
Andrew
no, no, no,
Garfield.
no. Andrew Garfield. That's
Oh,
what I
Andrew
heard. Yeah.
Garfield, yeah, because
Because of his
I guess
redemption arc of
Which I don't
Gwen
understand
Stacy.
how logically like okay, so that's what would bother me, right? Let's say it is the Spider-Man that come in and
Mhm.
do this whole sequence with him. So why this movie will never get a green card for me at this point is because yet again he can't do shit for himself.
I
Like
mean, we already
we
doing with Doctor Strange, so that's already
Yeah, but
happening.
he was like kind of against Doctor Strange. And so,
I guess.
like
Yeah.
you got to understand though, like Doctor Strange is powerful. Like he could easily just go away with these villains. Like I assume he has a magic spell to do that. So what's going to happen is that he's going to be forced to do something else, which is going to take him out of the movie for a while. If anything, it probably ties in with his movie into the multiverse or whatever.
I'm
So
sure a little bit.
but the thing is like when I initially saw that sequence at the end of the trailer, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be really cool. This is gonna be really epic. I can't wait to see Spider-Man go against all these villains and how the hell is he gonna get out of these situations. But then when I started realizing, no, this is kind of edited because you can see that there's gonna be other people here. Well, fuck. Let's say it is the Spider people. as cool as that would be, he still can't do shit for himself. If it's the villains, if it's Green Goblin and Doc Ock that's fight against him, he still can't do shit for himself. Like, I hate the fact that he has to depend on other people so much. And people want to argue that he does shit, like he's trying to reclaim himself. It just bothers me that like, I just don't think I see it the same way they do. Like, he's relied on Iron Man in Homecoming. He's relied on Happy and also still remnants of Iron Man in Far From Home. And now we're still going to get him relying on Strange and other people to bail him out of his shit. So that's why that's why this movie, I don't know why I keep trying to say card first. That's why this movie will never get a green card for me, because it still doesn't show that he can do things on his own and prove himself as being a hero. Go ahead, Mike. Do your little gaspy follow up.
Woo! Bless me. I did the Spanish gasp. Prediction. The thing that Doctor Strange was saying, that they're all coming through and I cannot hold them off. I don't think he's talking about Spider-Man's. I think he's talking about the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
You're an idiot.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're an idiot.
Nope.
Go to your room.
Go to your room. Actually,
Hear
you know
me
what?
out. Hear me
If
out.
it's the Human Torch, I'll probably give this movie a pass then, because I would like to see that. Oh, and if it's Starfire, right? Starfire, Star Fox? No, Starfire. Starfire.
Star Fox.
Star Fox and Human Torch. Oh wait, but that's Iceman. Iceman was the animated series one.
Oh.
Fuck.
Yes.
Either way, I'd give it a pass. But no, I think that scene is just the introduction to the villains coming into the world. I think it's
But how
very
many
misleading
villains,
that I think it's misleading that they put it at the end. And even if it is the end, it's probably still going to hint towards bringing Morbius and Venom into the universe.
Yeah.
So I don't think, like, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, that's got to be the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming in. It's, first of all, it seems really odd that they're a threat, because that's what Doctor Strange is implying, that these things that are coming through is a threat. So it's weird. But then again, Doctor Strange is also acting weird in this movie. So it could be, I don't know, it could be Mephisto for all we know at this point, or Agatha Harkness. I don't know. Either way, there's a lot of, you know what? I'll give kudos to the trailers on this one. It leaves a whole bunch of fucking questions as to what the hell is going on in this movie.
Yeah, it does. But you don't think?
No.
Imagine
No.
what I'm trying to say, because when are they? Because remember, Fantastic Four was announced that they are making a Fantastic Four movie, and this will be a perfect timing for them to do the whole entire multiverse thing. Loki, them change. Can you imagine Loki and Spider-Man having the same time? Like, it's literally like perfect timing, that the thing with Loki, whatever Loki did, and it is affecting this timeline as well. And Doctor Strange is like, what the fuck is going on? And
but he's
boom.
not saying what the fuck is going on. He's saying I can't hold them back. Like, they're like, he like I said, he's implying that these things that are coming through are a huge threat to wherever they are, or the world, or whatever.
I mean, he didn't specifically say that they're a huge threat. He just said, like, they're all coming through.
Listen, man, if Fantastic Four and X-Men come through those fucking universes at that point, like, we see him or see them get mentioned at all, I'll give you $20.
Really?
You heard it here first, folks.
I won't back out of a deal like Ham does.
I did not do that. 343 did.
Anyway, trailer.
Okay.
Like I said, visually looks cool. I am excited more to see that visual sequence, that whole epic final fight scene, and we'll see if there's a final trailer. I doubt it. I don't think they'll give us a final trailer, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tickets go on sale on the 29th, in case anyone wants to buy their tickets.
I would just want to watch the movie so we can start talking about it.
Definitely going to watch the movie.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
Definitely. We have to watch it.
Maybe we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Speaking of movies that we watched, let's finally get to our main movie review, which is called none other than by the title Red Notice. It is a Netflix action comedy starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who, by the way, I'm just going to insert this little tag here, is a big Xbox fan. Just saying.
Yeah, I saw pictures.
Yeah,
And
he has his own customized Xbox.
also starring Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, Gal something.
One of those
Gal
pronunciations.
Yeah.
Gadot.
And well, those are our three main actors here. I'm not too familiar with everyone else. I know the officer, the cop,
Yeah.
played by
Yeah.
Ritu Arya, got some decent screen time there. Maybe she's in something else I'm
She
not
was in
familiar with. But,
Humans too, with the same woman from Eternals. Yeah, yeah.
well, there you go.
Okay.
All right. So the synopsis goes: in the world of international crime, an Interpol agent attempts to hunt down and capture the world's most wanted art thief. Uh, IMDb gives it a 6.4 out of 10.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a
Yes.
35%.
Ah.
Ooh.
Metacritic gives it a 37%.
Whoa.
They don't know better.
But who does know better? Because Ham threw a little bit of a party here.
Yep, I
He
did.
ordered some gin, some aviation gin,
Yep, that is
and
correct.
some of tequila, whose brand I can't remember.
I
but
don't remember either. Too. I read
I
it
feel like it
somewhere.
was in the movie as well.
Yeah, it
1800.
was. It was.
Because yeah, okay, 15
No,
was it? No.
no, that's not it. It's a name.
Dwayne Johnson's tequila.
Yeah, it's a
He
name.
brought it over to the party. He brought it over to the viewing.
I definitely drank.
Couple people definitely did drink, and that's why only 88% liked the movie.
That's still twice
Wow,
as
that's
better
pretty
than
high.
as the other ones. Yeah. God.
All right. We'll go around starting with Mike talking our cards, and then we'll go circle back around, starting with me talking about what we liked and disliked about the movie. So, Red Notice. Mike, what card do you give Red Notice?
Yellow card.
Ham?
I'll give it a green.
What the
Really?
fuck?
I. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't.
We'll talk about
I
it. We'll
was a
talk
little
about it.
split. Yeah, please, please, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a yellow.
Okay.
I would say I'll start off by my positives and say that out of the three, I think I enjoyed Gal Gadot's acting more than the
Really?
other two, because out of the three, she seemed like she was having the most fun in her role.
Yeah, she's
Dwayne
the
Dwayne
quote
Johnson was
unquote
the
bad
least
guy.
favorite to me. Dwayne
I
Johnson was very kind of, I don't want to say monotone, but just like very, I don't know, just stagnant. Is that the right word? Like he didn't really
maybe,
be
yeah.
expressive in a lot of the
He
things
was
that he was
stiff.
doing.
But
Stiff, maybe. I think that's what it was.
Ryan Reynolds was being a little too Ryan Reynolds for me, I think.
Which I don't mind. Like, honestly, my favorite scene with Ryan Reynolds was near the beginning when he was going up the scaffolding and he was just kind of messing around with the
Oh
people on
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, man, that's good old Ryan Reynolds. Like, and I've been
I mean, yeah.
just as much as Mike is a fanboy of Dwayne Johnson, I'm a fanboy of Ryan Reynolds again because I started like I recognized him early on, not in probably his earliest career, but like I watched the Two Guys, was it Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place?
Yeah.
And that series was hilarious, and that's where I first saw Ryan Reynolds. And then ever since then, I wanted to watch everything that he's been in. Now, to be fair, I haven't watched everything he's been in, but I want to get around to it because his comedy is very consistent, and
Yeah.
it just goes off very well, and it vibes very well with other actors. I almost want to say kind of like Jim Carrey in a lot of his roles, where he's very consistent with the way that he portrays his characters. And he can, and just as much as Jim Carrey can do serious roles, Ryan Reynolds can do serious roles. We've seen him in drama films and things like that. So,
It's been a
but
while.
still, it was Gal Gadot in this movie. I was trying to think of what other movies I've seen her in. Right, Fast and the Furious, Wonder Woman. I feel like there's another one. It was a comedy movie. I can't
Did
remember
you
what
see
it
the one where
was.
they were spies? Like both the husband and was it John Hamm and her were spies? Did you ever see
I
that
know what you're
one?
talking about. No, I did not see that one. But like out
Uh,
of everything I've seen her in so far, she just seemed like she was having a blast with what she was doing. And I guess because she just really went into her character and was just kind of doing very expressive things, I just found her to be the most interesting throughout the entire movie, more so than the other two. Um, the movie though is very cliche. Like it is
Yeah.
very much just like any sort of, I would say almost like a 90s type of action comedy. And this is definitely
Somewhat.
one of the movies where if it wasn't for these actors, this movie I think would
Oh
flop.
yeah. Oh
It would
yeah.
flop in a heartbeat. But
Yeah.
because we have these well-known actors who can act, who do very well in comedies, who also do very well in action movies, it I think that's why it succeeds. But and maybe this is where Ham's coming in with his green card. It almost hides the flaws of this movie, but for me, not enough to give it that green card. Where I can't just say like it's a good movie overall. Because most of the stuff, well, for me, most of the stuff was predictable. Except I
Yeah.
would say like the ending twist
I think
with The
that's why I'm
Rock.
giving it a green. Maybe that was like,
It was
okay.
different, right? It was
Yeah.
different, and
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't. Oh, well. By the way, listeners, if we sorry we haven't said it yet,
Oh,
but by the way,
spoilers.
spoilers, everything's spoiled, spoil. Andrew Garfield's in this movie. Tobey Maguire's in this movie. Not Tom Holland though, because he
I'm in
sucks as
this
Spider Man.
movie.
Mike's in this movie for like 2 seconds.
He dies
Uh,
really quick.
Fuck you.
but so the twist towards the end was that Dwayne the Rock Johnson's character actually was a con artist the entire
Yeah.
one of the bishops. There's because they have this Gal Gadot is the bishop, as they refer to her as, like this master con artist. But then it's revealed at the end that her partner is Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Like they're lovers and they've been in this whole con this entire time. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I thought there was going to be like a double con where he's like, no, he's really an Interpol agent. But then they didn't go that route. So I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good. Like, and the ending wasn't like a typical ending to it. So I can kind of see, okay, I get
And
where you
it
might want to
actually,
give it a green card, but
yeah.
still, I don't think that's enough to kind of excuse the rest of the movie.
And it
Because,
also did make it seem like they're gonna do a second one.
oh yeah, without a doubt, and
Yeah.
I think it did well enough for them to want to go ahead and greenlight
Oh,
sequel. And I mean, who wouldn't want another see another movie with these three actors
yeah.
in it anyway?
By the way, I think the budget was 200 million, which is the
Yes,
most expensive for Netflix, and about I want to say a third of it was to pay all three of them, basically.
I believe it. I believe
Yeah.
it.
So yeah.
Other than that, like this is really just to watch for the actors and not so much
Yeah.
about the story because the
Or in
story
the
is very
action.
easy to
Yeah.
follow along. I don't know if I wouldn't even agree with that. The action's not all that impressive. It's very, I don't know, it would seem very restricted or very limited and not as impressive. I would say I almost want to say the most impressive one was just Ryan Reynolds going up the scaffolding and that's it. Otherwise, everything else just seems kind of like your typical CGI type of
This
action or very
this
choreographed type of action.
this was sort of like a dollar version of Hobbs and Shaw, I think.
Budget Hobbs and Shaw, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I'll say that.
Okay, so Ham, anything else you want to add on to that? Because I know you already kind of were saying some of your thoughts, but anything
Yeah,
that
there wasn't really much. I mean, there's some of the like plot holes, and then they mention, oh, that's how that happened. Because when the guy was shooting at them, and he's like, oh, he shot through them. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's like, oh, he had the key. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. That makes a lot more sense.
but he was still shooting at them, so there's chances that he could have died. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
The gold eggs, blah blah blah, Nazis. The Nazi thing, I think Ryan Reynolds even said it. He's like Indiana Jones or whistling it. That end scene reminded me of Indiana Jones. Who, the one we don't talk about with the sort of chase with the Nazi cars and all that. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
Oh,
thing.
Crystal Skull.
Yeah. And some of that CGI around then was kind of,
yeah,
Very
but
bad.
um. Like even they even called out in the movie. They're calling themselves out in the movie. Ryan Reynolds says MacGuffin. The whole three golden eggs are MacGuffin, so that's kind of weird that he just a little meta, I guess. Uh, I do agree. Gal Gadot was. I mean, she was technically quote unquote the actual villain, and I think she had fun with that. Rock was the Rock. Ryan Reynolds was Ryan Reynolds. The Interpol agent was okay.
Mm,
And the whatchamacallit, that guy, I've seen him in funny stuff. I guess the choker or whatever you want to call him, the strangler. I've seen him funny stuff. I think he did all right with a weird accent because that's not how he talks. Other than that, even when they planned to escape, they were talking about he was like cop. He's not a cop. He's not a cop. And they later explained, oh, he was doing that because of that. So I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So some of the stuff that, like you said, they hide the stuff that sort of didn't work. They hit it well. So I do recommend this if you like any of the actors and you just want to see something dumb and fun.
okay, Mike, what are your thoughts?
Um, I don't think this movie's bad, and I don't think this movie is great. I think it's a Netflix movie with high
For
budget
sure.
actors,
For sure.
but
Hmm.
very low budget writing. The movie, I think if you see the cover of this movie, you're going to get what you're asking for. Is Ryan
Absolutely. Yeah, let
Reynolds
me
being
check that.
funny? Yeah, Ryan Reynolds being funny, Dwayne the Rock Johnson being sort of comedic but serious at the same time, and Gal Gadot being Gal Gadot is. I mean, I will agree with Sal. Gal Gadot is the best part of the movie where she's having a lot of fun and her scenes are actually entertaining. And the chemistry with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds, it's okay. It's I don't know. I don't think it's much chemistry needs to be built on because it's just you already know what these two actors can do. You know, and there's just more back and forth, bickering, this and that, blah blah. There's some funny moments. There's not some funny moments. It's the movie's entertaining. The movie does its job. It's entertaining. Just shut off your brain, sit down, relax, grab some popcorn, grab a beer or something, just watch the movie. It's fine. Um, I will say my negative part is for sure is the writing. I don't know. I feel like it's the the writing where it's supposed to be a heist movie, but there's really nothing heist about it.
There's a lot more
Um,
heist in that other movie we saw,
yeah. What
Army of
Army of the
Darkness,
Dead?
or yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, that's more of a heist movie than this movie for sure, and that's saying a lot. Um, of course, there's that little trick in the end of the movie. Um, it did got me by surprise. And the guy who does the choking thing, I feel like he's super pointless. Did he die?
No, I
Um.
think it was a tranquilizer and not poison. Like a sort of like a knockout instead of like a kill.
Oh,
So
he's supposed to be like a knockout where he got knocked out once, and then Dwayne the Rock Johnson knocked him out again, and then he
yeah,
woke
I
up
think he was alive.
dramatically.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about that bull that landed on him. You remember, like he came up like shooting, and then boom,
Mm.
Okay,
like
maybe
we
did. I don't know.
we never see him again. So I don't
Yeah,
know if he's dead. And then the whole thing of him choking people doesn't really bring into a big part of the movie.
not really.
Not really at all. I don't even get the part of why he chokes his dad, I guess, but it's not that serious. But yeah, the movies is okay. It's a Netflix movie. I think it's a movie where you could just sit down and just relax, enjoy a good popcorn, and not think anything too serious about it. And pretty much that's it. Yeah, Dwayne the Rock Johnson is just he's just stiff, and I think the ending is kind of stupid where they get these three eggs, and then out of nowhere, fucking Ed Sheeran comes out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that
I
was
mean,
random. That was
that was
so
random.
random.
I mean, it was funny because he's like, "I'm Ed Sheeran, bitch."
Bitch.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that was funny. Where he's like, "I'll take you all."
I'll take you on. I was on Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Like that. That was pretty like kind of stupid for
but it
but
did
funny
come
at the
out of
same
left
time.
field. Like they didn't even. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, and and another thing, the cop lady so stupid.
What?
That
To
character
trust.
development. He, she trusted everybody, and she still thinks that she's smart.
Yeah, that I kind of was feeling that towards the end. I was like, what made you think you could trust Ryan Reynolds? Like, really?
Exactly. Like she
Uh,
trusted.
it didn't bother me
She.
that much.
I don't know. I thought it was just stupid, and she acted like the greatest detective in the world, and it's just like I don't know. And how the hell can Gal Gadot let her get followed? Well, she got followed on purpose, didn't she? Like she let that lady follow her.
No,
No, that was
not
not
on
intentional.
purpose.
That
No.
was yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, and then I don't know. I guess they messed up because apparently she's supposed to be like the
Well, that's the
greatest.
thing. Like the writing is very, I don't know,
Flimsy.
flimsy. Yeah, I think that's probably the right word to go for here. It's like there wasn't put a whole lot of thought into it. It's like, oh, we have these three actors, like we can write anything, and then they'll kind of knock it out of the park. Which again, like I said before, like the flaws of this movie are somewhat very well hidden behind these actors. If it wasn't for them, this movie would be an instant flop.
Yeah,
So I
it'd
would
be
be
like,
interested to see.
yeah,
I would be interested to see these three actors with top tier writers and
right.
writing a good action comedy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like
Be like,
I don't know if Han would agree with me, but like when Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds were together on screen, I almost kind of got like Rush Hour vibes from them a little bit.
there's better
Some bit.
chemistry in Rush Hour.
Doubt, but like they have the potential to
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of be
yeah,
that next
yeah,
duo.
yeah.
It's just so
Mhm.
sad that like I'm very disappointed with Dwayne Johnson because one of my favorite movies with Dwayne Johnson is The Rundown, where he's with
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Sean William Scott, Sean
Mhm.
Oh,
William.
that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That was good.
love that movie. That was one of his early movies, and it was just hilarious. And he was more comedic, I think, in that movie than he was in this one, which is I was
Yeah.
very surprised and taken aback. I was like, "Come on, Rock, you can do this. Like you can be up to par with these guys.
Well,
Like
it's
why aren't you there?"
it's because back then it was only like one movie every like 2 or 3 years. Now he's like in what 5 movies a year? Maybe not five, but he's just like I'm tired. I'm just gonna try my
Like, did
my
he
least.
confuse Red Notice with Fast and the Furious 12 or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
right. Also, we did get
Right.
the obligatory The Rock in a jungle, so we got that part for a second or two.
Yeah, yeah. I was just for a second when I saw that I was like, oh, he's back again as
Yeah,
Jumanji.
yeah,
Oh,
or every other movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rock was drinking his tequila at the bar, right?
Yes. Did you find
Yes, he
out what it's
was.
called?
Oh no, I didn't even look it up, but because we did see Ryan Reynolds drinking aviation gin when he
I've
was
had
in his
aviation
penthouse or
not too long
whatever.
ago. Yeah.
And then when Dwayne Johnson was drinking at the bar, I was like, that's gotta be his drink
It's
because
like a
obviously
M something or R something. It's an actual name. I forget what it's called. Oh,
Terramana.
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 Yeah, Terramana. Okay, so two yellows. Ham, are you still stuck on your green, or are you gonna drop down to a yellow?
I didn't. I didn't. For what was wrong, it wasn't much, but it was Netflix, so I'll still give it a green. It's number one right
I
now
would
on
say
Netflix.
your indicator here should be, will you watch this again?
I don't watch anything almost again. Uh Maybe if it was on TV and somebody was playing it.
All right, that's fair. All right, you keep your
Yeah.
green. One green,
Yeah.
two yellows,
Yeah. You keep your secrets.
three recommendations for it. Go out and watch it. It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's a good Friday night movie night kind of deal. All right. Other than that, we'll wrap it up there. I think our next movie, as we kind of discussed off air, is going to be Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I'm very excited for. I'm hoping
Yes.
it's really really good. I was watching an interview with Dan
Pablo.
Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Ernie Hudson. They
Send me
Oh,
were
Jimmy
that.
Fallon.
yeah, with Jimmy Fallon, and it was just kind of cool to see him again, and they
I'll
were
look
kind of
that up.
happy with the script and everything. So I was like, oh man, okay, this gets me a little bit more excited for the movie. So
Nice.
Yes.
hopefully it lives up to those expectations, which is kind of already bad because like I shouldn't have expectations, but I think the last Ghostbusters movie kind of left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. So
Mike.
What was your card? What was your card
for what?
for the last Ghostbuster movie?
Oh man, it almost surpassed Becky's card at that point. Like it's red without a doubt. And you know what? Well, fine. I'll address it because that was the number one criticism people thought it got, was that because it was an all female cast.
Even before it released, yeah.
It has nothing to do with the fact that they were an all female cast. It was just awful writing, awful storytelling, pointless scenes, and pointless jokes that went nowhere, and just everything just did not work well. I think the actors individually are fine. We've seen them in other stuff before, and they're fine in those movies. But together, it seems like this was really forced
It was a
just
bad
to
SNL skit.
just to kind of maybe I don't know whatever. I'll be the one to put myself on the line here. Maybe it felt like they were trying to force some sort of agenda with this movie, but I think this was the wrong take to go about it, and it didn't feel like they kind of honored the previous Ghostbuster films. They were just like, oh, we can kind of do our own thing and we can prove it to you this way, and I just didn't think that was the right way to go about this movie.
Right.
Did Mike Ghost just get inside you? What happened?
Oh,
Fuck you.
which
It's
you
a
know what?
ghost.
Fine. I'm gonna defend myself here because remember I keep complaining about that end game scene where all the females like joined up or whatever. There was an interview, or at least I think it was in the making of the MCU whatever book that came out, because it was quoted that even the one of the producers, or maybe the someone that worked on that scene, was even like, hey, should we really be doing this, because it does seem like we're pushing an agenda with this one. So even they questioned themselves about that
Yeah.
scene.
But I think me and Mike agreed that the boys did it very well. You remember that scene?
No.
Which one?
Not-
Season 2?
Yeah, remember with the women like team up? They did that very well.
Well,
I
but no,
didn't
I
finish season 2.
Oh,
I gave no, but no. So a good example of what was done, like a scene like that done right, was, we talked about it, was in The Mandalorian season 2, where you had Fennec and you had
yeah, exactly. Because I didn't even notice. Yeah,
yeah, like that was natural. That seemed
yes,
right, and
natural.
and at the end you were like, that's all female. Yep, they're kicking ass. Like that's how you do it. That's how you want to be portrayed. That's how you want to be seen. So that was the right way to go about it. Just saying.
Mhm.
All right, enough of the
Ghostbusters!
non-political talk. Ghostbusters Afterlife is our next episode, so stick around for that one. And Mike, do that thing that I almost forgot to tell you to do.
Oh, hey guys, before I forget, follow us on social media. Twitter, Twitch,
Instagram.
Instagram,
Somebody stole it.
YouTube. Drunk Cop and the Teacher. Write us an email. Whatever you guys want us to, hit us up. Well, any questions or any thoughts or anything of like, bashing on any other movies or like in any other movie that we have talked about. Drunk Cop. What was it again?
Not a teacher.
Drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yes, drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com. And
right.
him might write to you. And apparently we have a fucking MySpace, but
Do we still
Yeah.
really?
We still got a MySpace. I think that
we still got a MySpace.
What's in our
It's
music
there.
top 5?
all of them. All of them.
It's a
All
new
right.
Adele song.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. So again, no movie synopsis for him to guess. So sorry, Mike's still winning. And
Yep,
other than that,
undefeated
any closing words, gentlemen?
It's the Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, speaking of Eye of the Tiger, Tiger King season 2 out now.
And we'll talk to you in the next episode.